Welcome to AWS Edge Innovation Spotlight, and I'm Stuart Lepkowski, your host. I'm the Global Partner Network Leader for Media, Entertainment, Games, and Sports, and today we're here with Big Blue Marble. I welcome our guests, Christoph and Michael. Please tell us about yourselves and your company.
Hello, I'm Krzysztof Bartkowski. I'm the co-CEO of Big Blue Marble. Basically, we've been an AWS partner for many years. Started as Elemental partner, technology partner, and then basically became an AWS partner. Now we're advanced partner tier with many designations, and we're happy to be here with you.
Excellent. Thank you. And Michael?
Thank you, Stuart, for having us. My name is Michael Wagenhofer, and I'm CEO of Big Blue Marble Group. Big Blue Marble started in Austria 20 years back already as a spin-off of Austria's national broadcaster. Back then, it was all about opening up infrastructure to the market. And over the past 20 years, we became a full service provider running satellite, terrestrial, and streaming services. And on top of that, we also have our own B2C brand called Simple TV. So we really walk in the shoes of our clients also.
Thank you. Excellent. Excellent. Let's go a little bit deeper and talk about your customers and talk about the transition from C-band to broadband and what you're doing to help them with the use cases.
So we cover many different verticals. We cover customers like small cable TV operators, small content providers, but going as large as tier one telcos and broadcasters. And for all those customers, we can offer tailored solutions and hybrid solutions as well. So not only cloud-based, but we help them transition. So we can start on-prem, move them to hybrid, and then go fully cloud. For majority of our customers, we cover the live scenarios, live streaming scenarios, covering services like AWS MediaLive, MediaPackage, content protection with MediaPackage as well, and accompanying with our services like CloudDRM. And going also to distribution part with CloudFront and all the supporting services.
Excellent, excellent. As you know, it's the 10-year anniversary of AWS Elemental, and it's fabulous to hear that you're using services and cloud-native services to help our customers reduce cost and grow their revenue. Let's talk a little bit deeper on some of the challenges that you're seeing out in the industry and innovation that's happening, and what are you seeing from your customers, and what are you hearing from your customers?
I mean, as our parent company is Austria's national broadcaster, we have a focus on broadcasting needs and what the industry needs in transforming its business into the IP, all IP future, as we call it. And here, together with our colleagues from Poland, we managed to bring together our broadcasting specialized knowledge with the streaming agility of our colleagues, and that makes broadcast-grade streaming services. And so we are a great partner for everyone transitioning from the broadcasting world to the IP world.
Fabulous, fabulous. And you mentioned live broadcasting, I'm assuming for sports and live events. Can we talk a little bit about what you're doing in that space?
Yeah, so basically we can cover the whole production chain from a cloud production till streaming and distribution using AWS services. So I think we have a couple of good examples where we are transitioning customers from fully on-prem production services to cloud production, where they actually can benefit from that, especially on the cost optimization side. So if they're not using the production 24/7, but just for regional services that have just like an hour a day maybe, then the cloud production is the perfect solution for them to really optimize and improve also quality by refreshing the whole media stack.
I can give a great example for that because our national broadcaster hosts and airs 9 simultaneous newscasts, regional newscasts at 7 p.m. every day, and it really reaches a large audience. But still, it's a costly endeavor to run 9 different studios and 9 infrastructures, and that we are bringing now fully to the cloud end to end, and that should be a great possibility to reduce operational costs and make a better use of infrastructure that is just used for a short period of time.
Yeah, both the examples, news and live sports, are really good use cases for cloud. And we used to use the truck, right, and deploy a truck and the footprint of a truck, right. And now we're looking at reduced energy costs. Right, you run a sporting event for 2 hours. You bring a whole truck and a whole crew out. Now we have a much smaller footprint in doing that. So it's fabulous that you're doing that. And I really like the news example because the news 1 hour a day, you're running an entire studio in a facility, and now you can move that to the cloud. So it's great examples. Let's move over a little bit and talk about generative AI and agents and what's going on in the industry. And tell us a little bit about what you're doing in that space as well.
Yeah, we covered that in several ways. So basically, we are also developing our own products. So we have now a forensic watermarking solution based on AI. So from one perspective, it is AI-based improvement and optimization of the watermark. So it's really hard to be seen and almost untraceable. And on the other hand, that we can quickly detect any frauds and any piracy. So that's another attempt. And the third way we are trying to embrace AI is onboarding other partners and creating agents that can help find content to end customers.
Here again, I can give an example because I mentioned that we own a B2C brand also called Simple TV, and it aggregates 100 TV channels and stores the content. So this is a large repository of content. And the biggest challenge for any customer of ours is to find the relevant content. So, and we would like to use AI to discover a better and personalized content recommendation. And we do this via verbal prompts, but also taking into account the previous usage. But also this should be a playful process. So it shouldn't be as tedious as in the past. Search is the big problem for almost every streaming service, and we want to make it playful and more enjoyable.
Okay, so that's a great example. What feedback are you getting from customers with generative AI and agents and the products that you're introducing?
So our customers also want to embrace AI because they want improvement of their products. They want to keep their competitive edge, and basically they want to try out new things. So we are helping them onboard those agents, and we're helping them through POCs. And AWS is also helping us through different programs, helping fund those POCs and onboarding customers onto those technologies. And I think it's also great that we can quickly spin up those instances in the cloud wherever the customers are present. So that really helps us out with our global footprint and presence.
The POC model is fabulous
Yeah.
in demonstrating how to use the cloud and beginning the journey on some of the use cases, and especially with agents and AI, learning more about the capabilities of what we offer in services and how you're using those services to build solutions and products for the industry. You want to comment, Michael?
Sure. I mean, it's of course cost savings and making the product better. But when we talk to broadcasters, it's also about transparency and explainable AI. So everyone wants to make sure that he's in control which content he's displaying, and so that's a big focus area also, I would say.
Let's talk about some of the hurdles that are going on in the industry in moving to cloud and then in adopting generative AI. And what are you seeing in that space? And what would you recommend customers do to start to use cloud more and to start to understand generative AI and agents and how to move in that direction?
Well, to start using cloud more is definitely to start with POCs, as you mentioned, because I think it's easiest if someone just tries out services. And we are there to help our customers together with AWS to try out those services, to tailor the right approach for the customer. As I mentioned before, maybe not go fully cloud, but maybe go hybrid, just to try to learn cloud. So I think a step-by-step approach is also helping and trying to embrace the technology. But also I think we had a discussion before that new standards are crucial to just choose the right standard for introducing a technology.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's about building trust, and it's about experiencing the new technology. And once you saw it operational and you see the bill in the end, that it's much more cost effective, then people start to move and make a change and make the transition, which we all have to undergo.
Yeah, I think it's great that you talk about trust. That's one of AWS's leadership principles is earn trust. And I think it's great that we talk about working with our customers to earn their trust, to adopt the cloud and adopt the use case offerings we're bringing together. And it really is a great start and a great path to doing that. So let's go a little bit deeper and talk about the AWS services, which ones you're using and how to use them. Let's talk about as well the elemental services. And maybe you can depict a picture of a journey for broadcast and which services you use from the beginning of a broadcast all the way through the consumer viewing.
For different customers, we offer different set of services. For example, the largest public broadcaster in the world that we covered last year with the Olympics and the European soccer championships, which generated huge traffic peaks, as it's for any sports events. We covered the distribution, so that was CDN with CloudFront, where the custom functions, Lambdas at Edge, could help us really tailor a solution that the customer needed. But also on-prem encoding with elemental encoders. For other customers, we cover the chain with AWS MediaLive from the ingest throughout packaging with AWS MediaPackage, recording of the content onto S3, so basically harvesting of the content from MediaPackage, and then publishing through CloudFront. I mentioned the public broadcaster, but we have also customers like here in the US, Disc Golf Network, which cover live sport events as well, live broadcast, but also VOD. So we use Media Convert them to transcode onto all the required qualities for mobile devices, for big screen apps, so for Apple TV, for Android TV, for Roku as well. And we offer our service delivery platform and front-end apps. So all this is hosted on AWS. So basically, we cover the whole media chain along with the supporting services, all on AWS.
Okay, and you mentioned hybrid. Tell us what's going on in the hybrid space, because this is a very good model for hybrid, especially in live.
At Big Blue Marble, we really try to bridge both worlds, so from broadcast to streaming. And when we do that, we have in mind the next generation of terrestrial TV. Here in the US, you have ATSC 3.0. In Europe, we very much focus on 5G broadcast. And we see this as a way to deploy broadcast technology to the IP world and combine 5G broadcasts with AWS CloudFront services to really make an end-to-end service that is reliable and resilient also, because you don't want to put all the eggs in one basket when it comes to crisis situations, information for which is critical to viewers. So we want to use the classic infrastructure plus the cloud in parallel and combine the two to make a perfect solution for the end customer.
Yeah, and this is one of the big advantages of using cloud is the resiliency. And it's great to hear how you're using it in a hybrid model.
Yeah, but also regarding the encoding itself, we are using it in a hybrid model. So for customers who really want and need encoding on-prem, we use on-prem encoders like elemental encoders. For extra channels or for occasional events, we can use then MediaLive for the same customer. Or we can use cloud in that case for a disaster recovery or backup. Keeping all the packaging in the cloud and keeping, for example, our CloudDRM services running on AWS along with the on-prem encoding. I think this creates a really perfect hybrid model and hybrid video workflow there.
Yeah, okay, interesting. You mentioned DRM. Let's talk about DRM a little bit more. There's a lot of focus on anti-piracy and content protection. Explain the DRM solution a little bit deeper.
Yeah, so we really focus on delivering end-to-end solutions to customer, also regarding content protection. So DRM is the digital rights management is part of our content protection suite, and we offer that through AWS Marketplace as well. So customers can really pick and choose the right model for them and integrate it with the whole media services workflow. So we support all the standards that are out there for packaging and integration with DRM. So also regarding hybrid models, we can offer content protection partially on-prem and partially on the cloud.
That's really incredible. Again, the hybrid model comes up and it's going to be well adopted. So, what does the future hold for your company in partnership with AWS?
So we are deeply investing in partnership with AWS because basically AWS is the partner who has the focus on media services. So that's why we're investing in that partnership. So far we have media entertainment competency, and now we're also acquiring migration competency with already several successful migrations conducted. But basically, all the programs that AWS is offering us to help migrate customers to the cloud or help them embrace the cloud through like hybrid or fully cloud-based solutions. This is really what we are trying to help our also engineers to embrace and learn about.
Raising the bar is another AWS leadership principle, and you are certainly raising the bar for customers. So, Christoph and Michael, thank you very much for spending time with us today. It's been a great pleasure, very informative, and thank you for joining us today. I'm Stuart Lepkowski, Amazon Web Services.